Sorry, guys. So we had some malfunctions that just happens with the service. So I'm hoping that we can continue on from where we left off and we don't have to restart this thing all over again. Hopefully I can edit it some type of way. Um so I believe we were up to question three, I think it was. Is it safe to say that black men don't feel comfortable being vulnerable because they fear rejection?
Mm-hmm. They feel fear rejection because of that. Yes, which leads them to doing unnecessary stuff. Like I said before, calling the woman out her name when she says no, or like the incidents that happened in New York where dude slapped homegirl in the face with a skateboard or some shit like that, some stupid shit like that because she told him no. She wasn't disrespectful or nothing.
Yeah.
She said, I'm okay. Was her exact words, I'm okay. And me, man, ain't like he ain't know what to do with himself. But
Yeah, listen, it as a native New Yorker, it happens more than it should. Um
yeah.
I personally have experienced some of those negative things or being called out my name because I refuse to entertain certain energies.
Mhm.
Um but I do feel like on an emotional standpoint, it does come from home. It does come from relationships. Because as I expressed before, there are certain women that say they want a man that's in his femininity as well as his masculinity, and they want a man that's balanced. They want a man that expresses his emotions. They want a man that's emotionally vulnerable. However, when the man starts to express himself as far as emotionally crying, even it's like you cry too much. Why are you crying? It's like either you
Mhm.
want me to cry and express myself, sweetheart, or you don't. And I hold not only myself accountable as a woman but as a mom as well, to express to my children that yes, it is okay. You will not feel rejected based off of someone else not understanding or taking the time to understand your emotions. um
Right.
so I think it's really big, especially in our communities, to kind of just give men an open space and a safe space for them to just express themselves without judgment.
Yeah, I agree. We need places like that,
Hmm.
you know. But how much of the blame is on the women of the family that these men don't have emotion? They don't feel.
Well, we're not going to blame it all on the sisters,
Oh no,
because
no, no!
again,
It's not blaming. It's not blaming. It's just a question.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
I'm gonna say when the man is absent from the household, even when some black men are present in the household, but not emotionally. Um, as you said with your mom, it's like I'm not raising no girls. Toughen up. Um, but it's like if there isn't a man in the household that's showing a growing boy that it's okay to be vulnerable, it's
Hmm.
kind of like, well, I've never seen a man cry, so I didn't think that it was okay for me to cry.
Right.
you know so I think it goes with our upbringing, with our community, as well as the friends that we have as well too, because once we are out of the house and we're in the street and we vibing out with our friends, some of us do have friends that we could have went to about our problems and we talk to about, and then others is like, no, we misplace our emotions for something else, drinking or smoking or partying or going to run down on somebody, or. So I just feel like there has to be an outlet for men to be able to just openly express themselves. A
Right.
round table, a circle type of therapeutic environment, even adopting meditation as well as breathing exercises in our community as well too. I think that will help with a lot of building of emotional intelligence.
I agree.
Okay. So, all right, I have a question for you, brother.
Okay.
Are you an emotionally intelligent man?
I'm sure I am. Yes.
Okay. How did you become comfortable in expressing your emotions?
I became comfortable, honestly, when I found myself. That's when I became comfortable. Because before then, I wasn't comfortable at all. But
Mhm.
I found myself. So when I found myself, it allowed me to open up more and to, like use my voice. And outright, I'm quiet. You know,
Mhm.
I could be in a room full of people and I won't say nothing all night to nobody and be cool with it. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, I don't speak unless it's
Yeah.
something, worth speaking about. Like other than that, I give you a head nod. That's it. But
Mhm.
other than that, yeah. But me finding myself allowing me to open up more to people, and to be able to express myself in a way to where people understand me. Like they,
Mhm.
even if they don't agree, they understand. They see both sides clearly. They side and
Right.
my side. So, that helps a lot too when you have people that you get into these, back and forth with also has emotional intelligence,
Mhm.
things like that. So yeah, watching people, learning from people and things of that nature helped me as well as finding myself helped me open up a lot more.
Okay, I love that answer. I love that because I think it's very important when we take the time to learn ourselves, to go within, to be able to go through the darkness, to be able to see our light. Right?
Right.
It's like sometimes, especially when we get into the journey of knowing of self, we're able to tap into shadow work. We're able to tap into all the different aspects we have of ourselves and going in and healing those different aspects. I think it's important because not only are you getting to know the person that you kind of been running and hiding from, but you get to know the person that you are growing into now. So I do think that that's very important that you did take the time to get to know who you were, not the outer shell but the inner shell, because it makes you a better man on a daily basis, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. um what else? Okay, all right. So once you did find yourself and you did find the comfortability to kind of become emotionally intelligent, how did you feel when you did get to that point?
That's weird.
Mm.
It's just it's a new emotion, new feeling, that I had to add to myself. So uh it didn't go as smooth as probably a lot of other people's probably went as smooth.
Mhm.
You know, I was really rebelling against that because it's forcing me, like you said, out my shell. So
Mhm.
once I'm out my shell, like, oh man, like, oh, panic, all hell breaks loose. So I had to reel it in, and that allowed me to do that.
Do you feel like uh, before you kind of got a chance to know yourself and kind of tap into spirituality, do you feel like it was a daily battle with your ego?
Yeah, because that's who's been driving the car the whole time.
Mhm. Yes.
So it's basically their car. So they, it's like meet somebody on the street and you don't know them. Like, yo, can I use your car? No, you can't use it. So the ego is like, no, you're not driving this car. I got this. Like, I'll take you wherever
Mhm.
you want to go. So we have to take control of the will and not allow the ego to continue to do it because it feels comfortable.
Yeah, the comfortability of the ego adds
Right.
a lot of stagnation in the life. I tell people this all the time, and because the ego is birthed kind of during childhood, but the cross between child and adolescent, right in between the middle of that era, and it's like as you said, like I've been operating this body for this whole entire time. and now this higher version of you want to come down and tell me to take a back seat and I don't have to drive this car anymore. It becomes a shock to the mind, body, and soul.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you're like, what the hell is going on? I have had plenty of ego deaths. So let me tell you, as you said, it is not the most prettiest thing for one to go through nor experience, but it is extremely necessary.
Right. It's very necessary. It's the only way you're gonna find who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to go through those situations. If you ain't go through those situations, then you still don't know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because those situations is like coming out of dark to the light or going out from the light into the dark. Because neither one is bad. So
There you go. Neither one is bad.
neither one is
Listen,
bad.
we had this. I had this podcast a few months ago with one of my spiritual sisters, and we were talking about the divine dark goddess, and she basically was like, "Sis, there is really no such thing. You know, the problem is that they put the light on a pedestal and we put the dark, you know, on the lower space. And it's really a balanced state that they're both supposed to be in, because you're supposed to be able to operate from them both, but from the higher version of them both and not the lower version. So I'm so glad that you did say that, because yes, guys, it is extremely important for you to not demonize light or dark or any of those things, because it's really supposed to be a balanced natural state.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So now, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on mental health amongst Black men?
Where do it come from? Because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of us with that. Like, where did it come from?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all have it some way, somehow. You know, so that would be that's my thought, my question. Like, like where did that shit come from?
Yeah. Where did it stem from? Why is it so hard for you guys to get the healing that you need also? There's a lot of Black men that feel like when it comes to therapy, I'm not going to therapy. There's nothing wrong with me. Why do I need to go talk to a stranger about my emotions? They don't know me. They don't know what I went through. They don't know what made me who I am today.
Right.
How as a Black man, how do you feel about therapy? Do you feel like therapy is necessary in our community, or do you feel like we can kind of continue to go without, or half and half per se?
Therapy. I got mixed feelings about therapy.
Okay, I'm listening.
Because, like,
Yeah, that. Did you?
yeah, AUU or AAA, whatever they call it for the people that got substance abuse problems.
Alcohol Anonymous.
I look at it as that.
Right.
Right. Because you got most of them try. How can you heal me from something that you never attempted to do?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I look at therapy as. Like, if you ain't been through the situation, I could go to anybody who know how to have a conversation. They could tell me the same thing the therapist did, or even better. It's just having a conversation. You know, you trusting somebody outside of you and trusting whatever it is they give you in return. You know, so but me personally, I don't get with her. I don't get it. You know,
Well,
I think people could be helped in other ways. But go ahead. Go ahead, my fault.
I as I am an ordained minister, so I do counseling for certain people. With however, in in spirituality, right? As we said before, we take the time to go outside of ourselves, to go within, to see exactly what's triggering this emotion that I am feeling. A lot of people have not been on a spiritual journey, so they don't have that outlet.
Right.
A lot of people don't have people in them in their lives that they can trust with private information that they may want to share, right?
Mm.
Um, so so I am aware that therapy can help. Um, but again, it's up to the person themselves to feel comfortable to say, you know what, I'm going to go and seek this therapy, or I'm going to seek some form of healing because I know that within me I am troubled in some type of way, fashion, or form, and I need help.
Right.
Yeah. Um, okay. Next question. I would like to discuss emotional cleansing, the process of crying for Black men. How do you feel after a good cry? And do you feel comfortable crying in front of others, or are you more so a private crier?
It depends on the situation. If I'm
Okay.
crying in front of people,
Mhm.
like, you know, not well, like my mama passed, like, yeah, I'm crying in front of everybody about
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
you
Right.
know,
Right. Of
but
course.
I'm a more I could cry in public. I
Mhm.
have before. So, and I think it's just another form of prayer, you know, as
Yes.
the ancients say, it's another form of prayer. So that's when you are basically at your most bottom point,
Mhm.
which means the manifestation, whatever it is you're asking for, or in that situation, makes it more powerful.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I would encourage.
Okay. We lost you there, brother. Say that one more time for me. You would
I said
encourage.
I said because it works. it
Okay. Got you.
works. Oh yeah, I said I encourage everybody to, if you have to, let it go. You know,
Let it
let it
go.
let it just be you, your soul, and the tears, and watch the magic behind it.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Because all it really is a soul cry. You know, your soul is
Mhm.
just really cleansing, and water is extremely replenishable. And so when we are releasing, and as well as when we do release, we use those tears for growth, right?
Mhm. Right.
Um, so yes, crying is extremely essential for anybody, whether it be a male or female, adult or well as a child. It's extremely healing for the body, mind, and the spirit. Um, so thank you for that, brother. Okay. How impactful do you think that meditation would be in our community?
Great. If we could get everybody on the same accord, I think it would be amazing. And understand the power that we carry and the power that we have within, that's going to allow amazing things to happen if we was to come together for that in every neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Mass meditation.
So, in New York City, instead of them having detention, they have implemented meditation classes for some of the schools. Um, I think that was one of the best ideas that they could have done instead of just sitting children in an idle classroom to do nothing with their time, or telling them to do some type of work that really wasn't brain stimulating them. Um, so I think that it's really important and really nice that they're doing that for the kids now. At my job, I implemented and introduced meditation to some of the moms for postpartum care as well as the dads too. Because
Mhm.
I tell everybody, when you welcome a child into this world, it's not just the mom that's experiencing a change, it's the dad that's experiencing a change too.
Mhm.
And some dads need that outlet to be able to express how they feel that their life is changing. Um, and so I've noticed that incorporating daily meditations into their life has helped them traumatically uh, deal with their trauma that they may have had as a child. Because a lot of parents have different fears when they become a parent themselves. You know, this happened to me as a
Right.
child. Is this going to happen to my child? Is it, you know? And so with them just
Right.
releasing some of those traumas, releasing some of those fears, I realize it allows them to operate in a better space as a parent.
Right. The meditation will mold their mind to be greater. And I
Mhm.
think a lot of people are like it and take to it just like they take the yoga, which is actually meditation and movement. A lot of people don't know that.
There
So
you
you doing yoga,
go.
don't even do your so
Yeah, 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 definitely. Okay. All right. Do you believe that black women affect the emotional intelligence of their sons in a positive way or a negative way?
what generation? That's why, back the, I would say both. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with both.
Okay.
But I don't know. That one got me tongue. That one got me. That one got me.
You
That's a
know
great
why?
question.
Is because we have to like, because we got to face our reality a little bit. A lot of black men were in the household, and a lot of black women were forefront, right? And so
Right.
the upbringing and what they poured into their children um, created the person that is walking around today. So I do think that they contributed, as you said, in a positive way, as in a negative way. I also think that um, sometimes we have to stop and just show gratitude uh, because they were doing the best that they could at that moment, right? And so if it wasn't for mama, whether it was good nor bad, if you standing here today, it's because she did what she had to do to make sure that you're still alive and that you're breathing. Um,
Right.
so I'm gonna say to any black men that may be listening on the platform, whether if you had a mother that was positive or you had a mother that may have said some negative things to you, um, just forgive and show gratitude and let it go.
Yeah. Let that shit go in the sun.
Let it go. It you don't realize how much it weighs you down, um, being burdened from something that somebody else has done to you. So it's very good, not only for your mental health, but for the mental health of others, for you to just release and just let that go.
Right.
Okay.
They got
All
it.
right. We have a few other questions for you. um, in what ways can we work together as different sexes, right? Um,
Hmm.
to make a comfortable space for each other to be able to be transparent with our emotions.
How do we?
You, you need me to say that
You
again?
said, yeah, please.
Okay. I said, in what ways can we work together as different sexes to make each other comfortable to be transparent about our emotions?
And just be honest with each other. That's all. Just be honest. Honesty. And
Hmm.
that will take care of itself. As long as there's honesty about what's going on and what's bothering who, I think it'll take care of itself.
Yes, I agree with you on that one. Um, I think that we have to get over the fear of hurting someone's feelings based off of how we're feeling. 9 times out of 10, when you're honest with a person, you really can't hurt someone's feelings because you're addressing something that you know is going to affect them. And instead of you hiding something from them, you're being transparent and honest about it. Um, I also feel like communication is very big, because how can you believe that someone else is going to know exactly what happened when they said XYZ, unless you say, hey, you know what you said the other day kind of hurt my feelings, and I wanted us to touch bases on that so we can kind of get over it. Instead of walking around with an attitude. Because a lot of the times, why black men and black women are kind of at each other's throat is because we don't speak. We're not communicating. We're not being honest with each other. We're like, oh well, if I say this, I know this is gonna affect them in a certain type of way. You don't know unless you actually do. And then you have to give that other person an opportunity to express themselves too. It's like when you don't be honest with somebody, you make the choice of their choice for them.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I definitely agree with you, brother, on that. That it's very big with honesty, and very big just to communicate with each other and just let each other in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes just that, hey, can I talk to you for a moment, kind of opens a door for something larger to grow from, especially when it comes to relationships. Uh, Understanding and understanding is very important in any form of any relationship. Uh, so I do think that it's important for our black men and our black women to be more transparent and honest with each
Honesty is the key.
other. Honesty is the key. There you go. Okay. What's the biggest challenge that black men face with hiding their emotions?
Uh, I think they mess out on a lot of things because they don't speak. And if as the old people would say, closed closed mouths don't get fed.
Don't get fed. There you go.
So if you don't speak or express yourself, you know nobody's gonna know what to do for you.
Mhm.
That's how I look at it. You gotta be able to, but you gotta be able to know how to communicate. You gotta be able to know how to communicate what you're feeling. Any given time. Because I feel if you ain't angry to the point to where you can't talk, then you should be
Mhm.
able to express how you feel in any situation.
Like you said, in a healthy manner. Um, I I I personally myself uh don't like to hear a man raise his voice. I think when you speak in a calming tone, uh, your words affect people on a grander scale than you actually yelling out loudly. So I do think that, as you said, learning how to express your emotions, learning how to in a calm way, but in a powerful way that somebody hears you, because a lot of men don't feel heard.
Right.
Um, and that's something else that we need to address too. Is it's a joke that you black men say, and y'all be like, black women don't listen.
Mhm.
It's not that we don't listen. It's not that it's that you guys aren't being heard. It's like we hear what you're saying, but we want to listen to certain things. We don't want to listen to everything that's being said. And it's like, no, you got to stop and you have to listen. Listen to even what I'm not saying. Pay attention to my body language so you can kind of read what I'm kind of hiding because I don't want to say, or I don't feel comfortable with saying.
Right.
Um, uh, so I think that's really really big too. Because we both feel that way. To be honest, black men and black women do feel like we don't feel heard, we don't feel seen.
Right.
And that's something that we need to start working on with each other. How can we make each other feel heard? How can we make each other feel seen? How can we
Mhm.
make each other feel accepted and non-judged? How can we provide a space of unconditionalness. You know, I
Yeah.
think in spirituality we kind of learn how to love without conditions,
Right.
um, um, but also with boundaries, right? Because we can't just allow people to just do what they want when they want all the time. But giving people the freedom to be them, right?
Right.
Because another thing with the ego is a form of control, right? And so sometimes you just have to allow people to be, um, because we all are our own selves, and sometimes when people feel judged, they feel like they have to put a mask on and they have to hide who they are, and they won't be living in their true authenticity, and that's where um the miscommunication comes in at. That's where the confusion comes in at. That's where the chaos and destruction starts to affect us, because we're
Right.
moving in energy that is not even true to our signature as star seeds in the sense.
Right.
All right, brothers. So we have two more questions for you. Um, do you think that creates blockages for genuine connections? The biggest it piggybacks off the last question we had, which was the biggest challenges that black men face with holding their emotions. So the next question would be, do you think that it creates blockages for genuine connections to happen? Whether it may be at school, at work, with our children, with our family, with our spouses, etc.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we got to be able to talk to people. That's one of the main things I think that surrounds all that, is that a lot of us wasn't taught how to talk to people.
Mhm.
So because we wasn't allowed to talk to people or taught how to talk to people, we ain't nobody to talk to. Because me growing up, the parents was like, we not trying to hear that shit. They're not trying to hear that right now. Like they thinking about something else. They ain't got time for
Mhm.
whatever you going through as a child. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to talk the right way, and I think that's how we save the youth. We got to teach them.
Mhm.
You got to teach them, because they can use their words. If they know how to use their words and express themselves, it's a better outcome for them.
I agree with you on that one. I agree. I think that um, when it comes to the way we articulate ourselves, um, it's kind of a shocker to others, right? That's why
Mhm.
it's so important for us to read. That's why it's so important for us to learn different things, uh, so we can have a different dialogue and a different language in a sense. Um, Learn how to communicate with other people, learn how to communicate even with ourselves. A lot of us don't practice self care. A lot of us don't practice um, self self expression within ourselves. Affirmations, as I said to you earlier, words are extremely powerful. Remember when we were kids and people would say, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't hurt me." Words
Right,
stick like Velcro. Do not allow people to lie to you. Words
right.
hurt you, and they can stick, and they can start weighing you down with different emotions. Um,
Mhm.
so definitely being conscious of how you speak, definitely being conscious of the words that you choose, of the dialect that you decide to have with other people is really really important. um we kind of shield ourselves um from not being able to communicate with other people, even different races,
Right,
different people of walks of life. You never know what you may learn just from talking to a stranger at a bus stop. You never know what you may learn standing behind somebody in a coffee shop that you may gain, you don't have a conversation with.
right.
Um, Guys, have to start being more comfortable in 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 communicating. Also smiling. I want to say this, especially while I have you on, because it's very important for black men to smile. Like, like, please start smiling more. You guys have the most beautiful, most loving, caring smiles, and it lights your whole energy and it lights your whole aura. It makes your space a more welcoming and vulnerable space. You're more approachable just by smiling. You may notice your lady, whenever you do smile at your lady, it kind of lights her up as well. Start walking in your happiness, start walking in your joy, start walking in the love that you guys vibrate. I understand that sometimes life kind of weighs a black man down. But you guys need to know how loved you are, how much we appreciate you, how much gratitude that we show you guys. Even sometimes when we don't say it, and I'm sure your lady will agree, you guys are a light for us. You know, you guys are our guidance. You guys are our leaders. We look up to you guys, and we cherish you guys, and we put a lot of you men on a pedestal even when you don't know it. And so as much as we cherish you, you have to start cherishing you as well too. Okay?
Absolutely.
So I do want to say that. Okay. And with that being said, I want you to now take the time to promote any ventures that you have going on, anything that you're working on for the new year, and then we're gonna get into the affirmation.
Uh, I ain't got no businesses or nothing like that to plug. you know.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say, brother.
If it's, huh?
I said this is what I'm gonna say, brother. Start
What you
brainstorming
gonna say?
because
Huh?
again, you are a light in our communities, and a lot of these young black men need somebody to look up to. Okay, they need
Mhm.
outlets. Um, so do some brainstorming and figure out how you can kind of make a community circle for these young black men, as well as even our older black men, to just come and have an open space to just talk, you know, instead of just holding things with it.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think,
I
yeah, you
agree.
would do great in that. You would do great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, let's get into these
yes, ma'am.
affirmations. All right, we are going to do 5 affirmations. Um, and I want you to just close your eyes and just vibe out. Okay.
Mhm.
Number 1, I am a powerful black man.
You want me to repeat
Yes,
that?
I do want you to repeat that.
All right. I am a powerful black
Yes,
man.
I am loved.
I am loved.
I am important.
I am important.
I am cherished.
I am cherished.
I am safe.
I am safe.
And I thank myself for who I am on a daily basis.
Thank myself for who I am.
On a daily basis. Ashe.
I say.
Yes. Thank you, brother, for being on the podcast. I greatly, greatly appreciate you being on. I'm so glad that we finally got a chance to do this.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, like I told you, for having me, giving me the
Of
opportunity.
course, anytime. Listen, this platform is open for anybody to come on and discuss anything that they would like to speak about, even that they would like to learn about. Um,
Right.
This is a safe space for any and everybody. Even if you guys don't want to be recorded and you want to just come on and just have a conversation openly, I'm very open to doing so with you guys. But again, use your words, communicate, hit me up. I'm very, 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 very receptive. And brother, again, I appreciate you. I thank you. I look forward to us doing
Appreciate
another
you.
episode with each other. And you take care of yourself, my darling.
You take care of yourself too, guys. Enjoy your night.
You too. Talk to you later.
All right.